Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that every repetitive task in your life, your emails, your scheduling, your research, your customer service, your data analysis, all of it is being handled automatically, around the clock, without you lifting a finger. Not by an employee, not by expensive software, by an agent you built yourself. No code, no engineering degree, no team of developers, just you, a laptop, and a few tools that most people have never heard of. Right now, in 2026, something extraordinary is happening. Artificial intelligence has crossed a threshold that experts said was still years away. AI agents, systems that can think, plan, take action, and adapt, are no longer reserved for billion-dollar tech companies. They are available to anyone willing to spend a few hours learning how to use them. And the people who figure this out first, they are quietly building businesses, automating workflows, and creating leverage that their competitors cannot even begin to understand. In this video, you're going to learn exactly how to build your own AI agent from scratch without writing a single line of code. Step by step, scene by scene, with real tools, real examples, and a clear path you can follow starting today. Stay with this until the end, because what you are about to discover could genuinely change the way you work forever.
Let us start with the basics, because if you have heard the term AI agent and felt slightly confused, you are not alone. Most people think AI is just a chatbot. You type something in, it types something back. That is impressive, sure, but that is not an agent. An AI agent is fundamentally different. It doesn't just respond, it acts. It can browse the internet, send emails, update spreadsheets, make decisions, call APIs, and chain together dozens of tasks, all on its own, based on a goal you give it. Think of it like the difference between a calculator and an accountant. A calculator waits for you to push buttons. An accountant understands your goals, asks the right questions, and handles the entire process. In 2026, building one of these agents used to require knowing how to code in Python, understanding API calls, setting up servers, and debugging complex systems. That barrier kept the technology locked inside the hands of engineers. That barrier no longer exists. Thanks to an explosion of no-code platforms, visual workflow builders, and AI-native tools, anyone, a freelancer, a small business owner, a student, a creative professional, can now build a fully functional AI agent in an afternoon. This video is your roadmap. By the time we're done, you will understand what AI agents are, how they work, which tools to use, and how to build one yourself. No fluff, no filler, just the clearest explanation and the most practical walkthrough available anywhere.
Before we touch any tool, we need to understand what we are actually building. Because if you understand the structure of an AI agent, everything else will make sense instantly. An AI agent has 4 core components. Think of these as the 4 pillars. The first pillar is the brain. This is the large language model at the center of everything, something like GPT-4. Claude, or Gemini. This is what reasons, interprets your goals, and decides what to do next. The second pillar is memory. Unlike a basic chatbot, an agent can remember things. It can recall what happened in a previous conversation, store information about a customer, or track the progress of a multi-step task. Memory is what makes an agent feel intelligent rather than forgetful. The third pillar is tools. This is where things get powerful. An agent can be given tools, the ability to search the web, read files, send emails, update databases, fill out forms, or connect to any app with an API. The tools are what allow the agent to act in the real world, not just talk about it. The fourth pillar is orchestration. This is the logic that ties everything together. When you give the agent a goal, the orchestration layer figures out which tools to use in what order and how to handle what happens next. It is the project manager sitting between the brain and the tools. Now here is the key insight. In the old world, you had to build all four of these pillars yourself using code. Today, no-code platforms have pre-built these pillars for you. Your job is simply to configure them, connect them, and point them at a goal. That shift from building infrastructure to configuring infrastructure is what has made 2026 the year that AI agents became truly accessible.
You might be wondering, why now? Why is 2026 different from 2023 or 2024 when AI was already impressive? The answer lies in what happened just beneath the surface over the past 2 years. In 2023, AI was impressive but fragile. Early agent frameworks like AutoGPT captured the world's imagination, but they crashed constantly, got stuck in loops, and required serious technical knowledge to operate. They were proofs of concept, not practical tools. In 2024, the underlying models got dramatically smarter. Reasoning improved, reliability improved, but the interface to build agents was still largely code first. You needed to understand Python libraries, manage API keys, and wire everything together manually. Then something shifted in late 2024 and accelerated through 2025. The no-code ecosystem caught up to the technology. Platforms began launching visual agent builders, interfaces where you could drag, drop, connect, and configure AI workflows without touching a terminal. By 2026, the tooling has matured to the point where the question is no longer, can a non-developer build an AI agent? The answer to that question is a definitive yes. The question now is, which tool do you use and how do you set it up correctly? There is also a second reason 2026 is a tipping point, and it is economic. AI agents are beginning to replace entire categories of digital work: data entry, customer support, lead generation, content repurposing, scheduling. The businesses that have already deployed agents are operating with an efficiency advantage that compounds over time. The window to get ahead of this is still open, but it will not stay open forever. Now, let us get practical. To build an AI agent without code in 2026, you need to know which platforms exist and what each one is best at. There are several serious contenders, and choosing the right one depends entirely on what you want your agent to do. The first platform worth knowing is Make, formerly known as Integromat. Make is a visual workflow automation platform that has added deep AI capabilities. You can connect hundreds of apps: Gmail, Slack, Google Sheets, Airtable, CRMs, and build complex multi-step automations with AI nodes built in. If your goal is automating business workflows involving many different apps, Make is one of the most powerful options available. The second platform is N8N. This is an open-source automation tool that has rapidly evolved to support AI agent workflows. It gives you more flexibility than Make in some areas and can be self-hosted if data privacy is a concern. It has a visual canvas where you place nodes, connect them, and define the logic. As of 2026, N8N has a dedicated AI agent node that makes building autonomous workflows surprisingly approachable. The third platform is Relevance AI. This is specifically designed for building AI agents in AI-powered tools with no code required. You can build agents that have memory, use tools, handle multi-step reasoning, and deploy them as standalone products. Relevance AI also lets you build entire teams of agents that collaborate, something that was science fiction just 2 years ago. The fourth platform is VoiceFlow. If your agent involves conversation, customer service bots,
voice assistants, or chat-based interfaces, VoiceFlow is one of the cleanest visual builders available. It is designed specifically for conversational AI with rich flow design tools. And finally, there is Zapier, which has added AI agent capabilities through its new Zapier Agents feature. If you already use Zapier for basic automations, the upgrade path to building a simple AI agent is shorter than you might think. Each of these platforms has a free tier or a low-cost entry point. You do not need to spend hundreds of dollars to start. For this video, we are going to focus primarily on Make and Relevance AI, because together they cover the widest range of agent use cases for a general audience.
Before diving into the steps, let us define exactly what you are going to build. This is important. One of the most common mistakes people make when starting with AI agents is being vague about the goal. A vague goal produces a broken agent. The agent we're going to design is a lead research and outreach agent. Here is what it does. You give it a list of company names or a niche description. The agent searches the internet for relevant contact information, visits company websites, extracts key details, scores each lead based on criteria you define, drafts a personalized outreach email, and logs everything into a Google Sheet automatically. This is a real workflow that businesses currently pay freelancers or virtual assistants hundreds of dollars a month to manage manually. An agent can do it in minutes at any scale, around the clock. Even if lead generation is not relevant to your life specifically, stay with this example, because the structure of this agent, search, extract, reason, act, log, is the same structure you will use to build almost any agent you can imagine. Once you understand the pattern, you can adapt it to anything.
Step 1. You need a thinking engine at the center of your agent. This is the large language model, and choosing it correctly sets the foundation for everything else. Head to Relevance AI and create a free account. Once you are inside the dashboard, you will find an option to create a new agent. Give your agent a name, something descriptive like Lead Research Agent. Then you will be prompted to connect a language model. Relevance AI supports multiple models. For most general tasks in 2026, Claude Sonnet or GPT-4o are both strong choices. Claude tends to handle long documents and nuanced instructions particularly well. GPT-4o tends to be faster for shorter tasks. For our lead research agent, either will perform well. Once your model is connected, you will define the agent's core instructions. This is called the system prompt, and it is one of the most powerful things you will write. The system prompt tells the agent who it is, what its job is, how it should think, and what it should never do. Here is an example of what a strong system prompt looks like for this agent. You are a professional lead research assistant. Your job is to research companies provided to you, find relevant contact information, summarize each company in 2 to 3 sentences, score the lead from 1 to 10 based on how well it matches our ideal customer profile, and draft a short, personalized outreach email. Always be concise, factual, and professional. Never fabricate information. If you cannot find information, say so clearly. That instruction set is specific enough to guide behavior, but flexible enough to handle a wide variety of inputs. Write your system prompt the way you would brief a highly capable new employee on their first day.
A brain without tools is just a conversation partner. To make your agent actually do things in the real world, you need to give it tools. This is where the magic happens. Inside Relevance AI, navigate to the Tools section of your agent. You will see a library of pre-built tools you can add. No code required. Each tool is a configurable module. The first tool to add is Web Search. This gives your agent the ability to look up information in real time. When you give it a company name, it will search the internet, find relevant pages, and bring back information.
Configure it with a simple instruction. Search the web for the company name plus the phrase contact information and return the top 5 results. The second tool is a website reader, sometimes called a web scraper or URL reader. This allows the agent to visit a specific web page and extract the text from it. Combine this with the search tool, and your agent can not only find company websites, but actually read them and pull out relevant details, like the company's mission, products, and team size. The third tool is an email drafter. This is simply a template tool connected to your language model. After the agent researches a company and scores the lead, it passes the information into the email drafter, which generates a short, personalized cold email based on what it learned. You can define the tone, length, and structure in the tool's configuration. The fourth tool is a Google Sheets connector. This is what logs everything. Every company the agent researches gets a new row: company name, website, summary, lead score, and the drafted email, all populated automatically. To set this up, connect your Google account inside Relevance AI's Integrations panel and select your target spreadsheet. Now, here is something important to understand about tool use. The agent does not use all tools at the same time blindly. It uses them intelligently in sequence based on the task. The brain decides which tool to call, in what order, and what to do with the result. This is what separates an agent from a basic automation. You have now built the 4 pillars. Brain, memory is handled by the platform, tools are active, and orchestration is managed by the model's reasoning. Your agent is taking shape.
Before you deploy any agent into a real workflow, you must test it. Skipping this step is the single most common mistake beginners make, and it will cost you time and credibility. Inside Relevance AI, there is a built-in testing environment. Type in the name of a real company. Start with one you know well so you can easily verify whether the output is accurate. Something like a well-known local business or a company in your industry. Run the agent and watch what happens. In the best case, the agent searches the web, finds the company site, reads key information, generates an accurate summary, assigns a lead score, and drafts a personalized email, all within 30 to 60 seconds. But the first run will not be perfect. It never is, and that is completely normal. What you are looking for is whether the logic is correct, not whether every word is flawless. Ask yourself these questions. Did the agent actually search the web, or did it hallucinate a response? Did it read the right website? Is the lead score somewhat justified based on the company's profile? Does the email make sense? If the web search is returning irrelevant results, refine the search query in the tool settings. If the summary is too long or too vague, adjust the system prompt to be more specific about format. If the email tone is wrong, add examples to the email drafter configuration. This process, test, observe, adjust, is called prompt engineering and tool tuning. It is not code, it is configuration, and it is where the real craftsmanship of building agents lives. Run the test on 5 different companies. Each test will surface a different edge case. By the 5th run, your agent should be performing at a level you can trust. Right now, your agent runs when you manually give it an input. That is useful, but it is not true automation. True automation means your agent runs on its own, triggered by an event, on a schedule, or in response to something that happens in another system. This is where Make comes in. Make is a visual automation platform that acts as the nervous system connecting everything together. Think of it as the system that feeds your agent its inputs and distributes its outputs without you being involved at all. Open Make and create a new scenario. A scenario is a visual workflow, a series of connected modules on a canvas. Your first module is the trigger. This is what starts the whole process. You have several options. A scheduled trigger runs your agent every morning at a specific time. A Google Sheets trigger fires whenever a new row is added to a spreadsheet, meaning you or a team member can simply paste company names into a sheet and the agent activates automatically. A webhook trigger fires when another system sends a signal, useful for CRM integrations. For simplicity, let us use the Google Sheets trigger. Configure it to watch a specific sheet for new rows. When a new company name is added, the trigger fires. The next module sends that company name to your Relevance AI agent via a webhook. Relevance AI provides a webhook URL for your agent. Paste that URL into Make's HTTP module, and you have a live connection between the two platforms. Now the final module takes the agent's output, the summary, lead score, and email, and writes it back to your results Google Sheet, column by column. When you turn this scenario on, you have a living, breathing, automated intelligence pipeline. You add a company name, the machine does the rest. No further input required. Here is where things get genuinely exciting, and where 2026 is fundamentally different from anything that came before. A single agent is powerful, but a team of agents is exponential. Multi-agent systems, where multiple specialized AI agents collaborate on a shared goal, are now fully buildable in platforms like Relevance AI and N8N without writing a single line of code. Imagine extending the system you just built. Your lead research agent finishes its job and passes the highest scoring leads to a second agent, a qualification agent, that sends an automated, personalized email sequence. If a lead replies, a third agent, a scheduling agent, reads the email, determines intent, and books a meeting directly into your calendar. You have just automated the entire top of your sales funnel, without a human touching any part of the process until a meeting is booked. This is not hypothetical. This is what forward-thinking solo operators and small businesses are deploying right now. The key principle in multi-agent design is specialization. Each agent does one thing extremely well and passes a clean output to the next. When agents try to do too many things, they make more mistakes. When they are narrow and focused, their reliability improves dramatically. In Make, this looks like extending your scenario with additional branches. In Relevance AI, it looks like creating an agent team and defining how they communicate. The visual builders make this far more intuitive than describing it in words. Before we move to the final steps, let us talk about the mistakes that trip up almost everyone who builds their first agent. Knowing these in advance will save you hours of frustration. Mistake number 1 is a vague system prompt. If you tell your agent, research companies and help with outreach, it will produce generic, inconsistent results. Your system prompt must be specific about format, tone, scope, and what to do when information is missing. Specificity is not a limitation, it is what makes the agent reliable. Mistake number 2 is not handling errors. What happens when a website cannot be scraped? What happens when a company has no online presence? If your agent has no instructions for edge cases, it will either hallucinate information or stop working entirely. Always add a fallback instruction. If you cannot find sufficient information, skip this entry and log it as incomplete. Mistake number 3 is skipping the testing phase. Building feels productive. Testing feels slow. But an untested agent deployed at scale can send hundreds of wrong emails, log incorrect data, or silently fail on every input. Test with at least 10 varied examples before you trust it with anything real. Mistake number 4 is trying to automate too much too soon. Start with one narrow workflow, get it working well, and then expand. The most reliable agents in production today started as simple 3-step processes. Mistake number 5 is not reviewing outputs regularly. AI agents are not set and forget forever. Models update, websites change, and your business needs evolve. Build a habit of reviewing your agent's output weekly for the first month. Once it has proven its reliability, you can check less frequently.
Lead generation was our example. But AI agents in 2026 are being applied across virtually every domain. Let us briefly tour what is already possible. Content creators are using agents that monitor their niche for trending topics, draft outlines for videos or articles, repurpose long-form content into social posts, and schedule everything automatically. A single creator with a well-designed agent stack can produce the output that previously required a team. Customer service teams are deploying agents that handle Tier 1 support, answering FAQ questions, processing refund requests, routing complex issues to human agents, and logging every interaction in a CRM. Response time drops from hours to seconds. Researchers and analysts are using agents that monitor industry news, extract key data points from reports, compare information across sources, and produce weekly briefings. What used to take half a day now takes 3 minutes. E-commerce operators are building inventory monitoring agents that track competitor pricing, flag low-stock products, draft purchasing recommendations, and update product descriptions based on seasonal relevance. HR teams are using agents that screen incoming resumes against job criteria, send automated first-round interview scheduling emails, and compile candidate summaries for hiring managers. Every single one of these workflows was built without writing code, and every single one would have cost significant money to staff manually just 2 years ago. The pattern is always the same. Find a workflow that is repetitive, information-based, and rule-governed. Then build an agent to own it.
Let us zoom out for a moment. What we have been talking about is not just a productivity hack. It is a structural shift in how individual people and small organizations can compete in the world. For most of history, leverage, the ability to get large results from small inputs, required either significant capital or a large workforce. A company with 100 employees could do things a solo operator could not. That gap was a moat. AI agents are collapsing that moat. A single person with a well-designed agent stack can today operate workflows, manage communications, produce content, analyze data, and serve customers at a scale that would have required a small team just 3 years ago. This is not about replacing human creativity or judgment. The agents we are building handle the mechanical, repetitive, high-volume work, the work that drains time without creating insight. When that work is automated, human energy gets redirected towards strategy, relationships, creativity, and decisions that actually require a human mind. The people who understand this and act on it early will have a significant advantage, not because they are smarter or better resourced, but because they chose to learn a new capability at a moment when that capability was still undervalued. That moment is right now. Let us bring this together. In 2026, building an AI agent without writing a single line of code is not only possible, it is practical, accessible, and one of the highest leverage skills a professional, entrepreneur, or creator can develop. We walked through what an AI agent actually is, the 4 pillars of brain, memory, tools, and orchestration. We saw why 2026 represents a genuine tipping point in the accessibility of this technology. We explored the best no-code platforms, Make, N8N, Relevance AI, VoiceFlow, and Zapier, and we built a complete lead research and outreach agent, step by step, from system prompt to Google Sheets output to full automation trigger. We covered multi-agent systems, common mistakes, real-world use cases across industries, and the larger implications of what this shift means for how individuals can compete and create. The most important thing you can do right now is start. Not plan to start, not research more tools, not wait until you feel ready. Open Relevance AI, create a free account, define one workflow in your life or your work that is repetitive and information-based, write a system prompt, add one tool, run one test. That first agent does not have to be perfect, it just has to be real. The skills compound, the tools improve, and the advantage you build by starting today only grows over time. If this video gave you clarity or changed how you think about what is possible, consider sharing it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper, more advanced agent architectures, specific platform tutorials, and real case studies, subscribe and stay close. There is a great deal more to explore. The future belongs to the builders, and now you know how to build.